Hi, and here are you. It's Teknikolour. I have a very fun build today. I decided to build a little something using the new creator kit, Cozy Kitsch, designed by my Shuno-san. Let's check it out. So if you missed it, The Sims just released two creator kits. One is a CAS kit and one is a build kit. And they're both creator kits, which is a little different from the kits that we've seen before where Simmers have directly collaborated with the Sims team on whatever type of kit they pitched an idea for. In this case, however, these creators are people who have made custom content and pitched their ideas to the Sims team, and the Sims team has had them create those assets for the Sims for purchase as a kit, and you can now use them. So even people who are on console and are unable to download custom content can have access to custom content that's made not just by the Sims team. So kind of interesting. Thanks to EA, I received a code for both of the new kits, and I really love the Cozy Kitsch kit. I started checking it out over on my Twitch channel. I was streaming an overview of both of the kits, and I actually did a giveaway, and I fell in love with this kit. I feel like it pairs well with a lot of different packs, and I'm realizing now that I didn't even use the one pack that I thought I was originally going to use a lot with this kit. I guess I felt I didn't need it. But originally, I think that the Book Nook kit I saw and I was like, this is gonna be perfect to go with this kit. But I kind of went a little overboard. I wanted this to be a limited pack build. So I started building in Get Together's Windenburg world, and I thought I really had something and I was not going to be using that many packs. And for a while, I wasn't using that many packs, and then it just sort of spiraled. So one of these days, I promise I will do a limited pack build and I will stick to the limited packs. But this day is not it. You're actually going to be surprised with how many packs I was able to cram into this very small house. There's like no reason for it. I also took an extremely long time trying to figure out the floor plan for this build, because I knew that I wanted there to be a bedroom that had a little bit of a bump out, and I knew that I wanted the living room to work with it and the dining room to work with it, and I knew that I wanted the kitchen. So I just wanted it to kind of all be free flowing, and no matter what I tried, it just was not working. And eventually I figured out, well, if I move the kitchen to the front of the house, which is not where the front door is, and then I just rearrange things, I think I can get everything to fit in a way that I like. And I did. I was able to fit in a primary bedroom, a bathroom, a living room, a kitchen and dining area. And it actually looks kind of spacious. It doesn't really look that cramped, even though it's definitely smaller. I was actually going to attempt to make this into a tiny house, but that was not going to happen. Tiny homes use a lot less grid spaces than I thought they did. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, eventually, one of these days I'm going to do a limited pack build, and one of these days I'm going to do a tiny house. That's what we'll do. Maybe both. Maybe we'll do both. In one build, we'll just do that. I also knew that this kit is also very colorful, and I knew that I wanted to use specific color swatches, and then I stumbled upon the green swatches. And if you know anything about me, I love the color green. And I originally wasn't going to gravitate towards green, but I ended up going towards it in the end. So there's a little bit of green in here, there's a little bit of orange, there's a bit of yellow. So I tried to just fit everything in together and make it as kitsch as possible, very cozy. And I tried to use as many different packs as I could think that would fit in with that sort of decorating idea. And I'm really pleased with the way that this came out. I can definitely see myself using this kit a lot. Maybe not necessarily using a lot of the same items together, but using the items in different builds and in different places within the same build, I could just see myself getting a lot of use out of this kit. So if you are interested in this kit, I highly recommend sticking around and just deciding if you think it's for you. I was actually very surprised by the items in this kit. I feel like the packs that we've been getting from the Sims team are phenomenal lately. I feel like everything feels a bit more elevated, and I am just so pleased that we're getting all these new items, and everything just feels very, not necessarily cohesive, but it just feels elevated. I don't know, that just feels like the right word to explain it. When we saw like the promotional images for it before we even had access to it, I was a little unsure. I didn't know if this was a kit that I was going to build with often. I thought it was going to be a specific use case kind of build kit, and I was not entirely thrilled with the images that I saw originally, because it kind of felt similar in ways to the pastel pop kit, which I think can be used in a variety of ways, but feels very specific. It feels very, it's very like one-off. And yeah, while some kits actually are a little harder to blend together, I think that this kit in particular does a really good job of being able to mold itself into any kind of style of build. Well, maybe not any, but I feel like a lot of the items can be used in conjunction with other packs. So I feel like this creator kit, the Cozy Kitsch kit, I feel like it goes very well with the Book Nook kit, which I didn't use here. I feel like it can go very well with the Pastel Pop kit, but it can also really fit in with the Home Chef Hustle kit. It can fit in with the Love Struck expansion pack, which I use a lot of the items. You can use Eco Lifestyle. You can use City Living. I just feel like there's a lot of variety within this pack, and not just in the swatches, because we got a lot of swatches. I feel like it's a kit that can lend itself to a lot of different styles, but I feel like the fact that this kit feels like it can fit into most builds is something that makes it stick out from a lot of the other kits. Because let's be honest, the kits can be kind of expensive, and I feel like sometimes there's just this uncertainty of, is this kit really right for me? And is this something that I'm actually going to get a lot of use out of? Like, for instance, I did not think that the bathroom clutter kit was going to be something that I would use a lot, because a lot of the items we already have, and they're just different. And I just didn't see myself getting a lot of use out of it. It has completely changed the way that I decorate bathrooms. And yes, you could say that that might not be a positive, because now I've added in another pack to my repertoire. But it's something that I use frequently. Same thing with the Everyday Clutter kit. There's so many different kits that can be used, but don't necessarily need to be. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier, how these last couple of packs have felt very elevated. And something that I'm really excited about is the fact that the Sims team has embraced the collaborations with Simmers that they've done. So as we know, we've had Simmers build for some of the packs, and we've also had Simmers actually work with the Sims team to create assets. And the Sims team create the assets, but it's the Simmer who's coming up with the idea. And in this case, it is actual custom content creators who have created designs for the Sims. And it's just going straight into the game. And obviously the Sim team might have some like feedback for them and figure out exactly how it works. Like, I don't know exactly how it worked, but I'm very excited to see this direction that the Sims team is taking and embracing Simmers, because I feel like there's so much growth that we can see, and I feel like we've already seen a lot of that growth. Like, let's talk about it. Life and Death Love Struck. I think that these are fabulous packs. I feel like they're taking risks, and they're just going for something different, and I feel like it's very visible. And I don't know, I feel like people are liking this new direction. What about you? Are you enjoying the direction that the Sims team is taking The Sims 4? I'm just impressed. I'm very impressed because, as y'all know, I jumped into The Sims very late in life. The Sims 4 is in fact my very first Sims game, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know any lore. I didn't know anything about The Sims, the game, or what people had experienced or what people had liked or disliked. And I just really liked it from the start. And yeah, there were things that I could see for improvement, but I'm just like blown away by the creativity that we're seeing. And I think the creativity that we're seeing, while yes, a lot of that does come from the Sims team, I think a lot of that comes from Simmers. So people like you and me who are creating content using this game, I feel like whether it's something that is custom content where you're creating assets yourself that are original, or you are just like creating a build using just the items in the game. Maybe you're not even using mods like the tool mod or better build by or anything like that. Maybe you're just using the game as it is just released. Maybe you're doing it on console. I have seen people who are incredible builders, better than me, who work on console. It's just wild to see the creativity that has come out of this game and is just so inspiring to me. And I think it's inspiring to the Sims team too. So keep it up. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're creating, even if you think it's not that great, I promise you, there's somebody out there who absolutely adores your ideas and is just blown away by what you decided to do, and then will be inspired to create their own creations. Or I know people who think that they're not builders and they just like to decorate shell challenges. Speaking of, would y'all like to see a shell challenge from me? Because we've technically done two. I did a shell challenge where my mods actually gave me rooms that each of them designed, and then I had to puzzle them together, which was a nightmare, but actually came out really well. And then I had another shell challenge where it was my very first shell challenge of my own where I designed it. And they were both really fun. And my Twitch community actually unlocked us doing shell challenges like on a recurring basis. So I think we might be due for one. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know down below. Going back to this build though, I have to apologize. You might be watching this and be like, whoa, he made a lot of changes to the floor plan, and this is a small house. I did. I changed my mind a million times. I don't know what it is. I have been so indecisive when it comes to my Sims building recently. I'm building a mansion in my legacy save, and I've been doing this on stream. This is actually the third mansion that I've been building, and I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't making any headway. I felt like there was no progress being made. And I just felt like anything that I did, I was just getting unhappy with it. And my boyfriend was like, well, you spent like 20 minutes, like just changing the staircase like a million times. And it got under my skin so bad. Full disclosure, my boyfriend is an actual architect. So like, he kind of has a point. And actually, he has been phenomenal. With this recent mansion that I've been doing, I was struggling. And just for some clarity, my uncle unfortunately passed last week. And I've just been kind of emotional lately, and I just was not sure how to get this idea for this mansion out of my head. And I didn't really know what to do or how to make it. And no matter what I did, it just was not looking right. So I sent my boyfriend, while he was working, I sent him like a whole bunch of text messages, a whole bunch of photos, some inspirations, some of what I had worked on, some things that I thought was working, some that wasn't. And I messaged him and I was like, I'm losing my mind and I don't know what to do to fix this because like this is what I have in my head. Like this is what I want, but I don't know what to do to change it and make it actually work in The Sims. And he was like, all right, give me a little bit. And on his lunch break, he spent some time coming up with a sort of like floor plan design thing for the exterior. And he's since helped me with some of the floor plan of the interior. And honestly, it is coming out so much better than I had originally anticipated. And it's becoming exactly what I had envisioned the more progress I make on it. Something that I did have a lot of fun with this build though was I knew that I wanted to tilt a lot of my frames. So a lot of the picture frames that we have, some of them, yeah, you can prop up on a shelf or something, but I have been doing this thing where I will just take wall art and I will rotate it. So it's almost like you just leaned the frame up against the wall, and I love the way that it looks. And the reason I'm able to do that is because of the tool mod. And I just laugh every single day because I did not understand the tool mod for the longest time. And the tool mod is not that hard to understand. It's definitely not that difficult. Some of it, yeah, can be a little hard to grasp, but I could not figure it out. No matter what I did, I could not understand what the heck it was that I had to do to make the game respond in a way that I saw so many other people using this mod. And it's actually so much simpler. As usual, I was making it so much more complicated than it needed to be. And you can actually see how I use it a lot. For instance, you can see me like kind of select the item and then click on the ground. And I'm just sort of like incrementally moving the item. And that's because I'm just literally holding down Alt. I'm just holding down Alt and clicking. And I did not know that you could make the tool mod move items like that. I was doing everything with math. And I am not a math girly. I was struggling. So I don't know. I'm just very impressed with my grasp of the tool mod lately. Another thing that I should say is I was originally going to stall a little bit and not build the mansion that I've been building for my legacy challenge on stream. I was actually going to build it entirely off stream, and I was so overconfident. I had said to myself, I'm going to get this done so quickly. It's just going to take me a couple of days or a couple of hours. It's going to be like no time at all. It's going to be so easy. And that did not turn out the way I expected. I think I only just came up with a floor plan that I actually really like today. So there we are. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to see like what you envision for a build and then how you actually building it completely changes over the course of time. It's kind of frustrating. It's kind of frustrating. But if you are interested in what I am talking about here, basically every Tuesday and Thursday morning, I play The Sims over on my Twitch channel. And if you're unfamiliar with Twitch, basically it's kind of like YouTube, but instead of it being like a video that somebody posts and you just watch, it is all live. So it's happening in real time. So when I stream, I'm streaming directly from here and I'm talking to my chat and I'm doing it in real time. So things like this build, for instance, I might cut out bathrooms because I didn't think it was that necessary for a speed build. You see me do all of it. You see me do all of it while I'm live. And I will say I don't necessarily build all the time on stream, so that might not be your vibe if you're here only for the speed builds. But I'll say my gameplay streams are so unhinged. And it's so much more than I've ever expected when I've been playing them because things get wild in The Sims, as you know. So basically right now, on Tuesday and Thursday mornings on the East Coast, I start around 10 a.m. I have been playing with my Sims Legacy family, the Wyndhams, and each generation is focused on a different world and the gameplay features from that world. And we're kind of in this transitionary period right now. So we've just ended City Living. We're done with that. We have been in San Myshuno. I have loved my legacy heir, who has been in charge of the legacy for this expansion pack. But now we're actually moving on over to Get Famous. And this is actually going to be very interesting for me because this Sims storyline is going to be so different from how I typically play The Sims, because he is going to be a bad boy. I don't know about you, but the way I play The Sims is I want my Sims to be happy. I want them to have like a good day. I want them to have like the best time ever. And it's not really going to be that way anymore. At least not with Jet Wyndham, because he's going to be a cheat. He is going to be an actor. I hope he's going to be a good one, but I don't know. We'll have to see. And yeah, his storyline is just going to be very interesting because he's basically going to become the villain. And I'm just very excited to get into it, but I'm also like kind of putting it off by doing all this building. Originally, I would have been way done by now because I would have just done 2 mansions, his and then another one for my community, because anytime that I do a special stream, either for my birthday or my streaming anniversary, I set up this thing where my community, if they donate a certain amount, they can actually have a version of themselves in The Sims be in my game. So that has been very interesting for the past couple of generations. And I gotta say, it is so exciting having like friends of the stream in my actual builds. So I have built for these themselves, and I have also like invited them to weddings, or we've gone over there for Thanksgiving, or I don't know, we've just spent time together, and it just adds an extra layer to my gameplay, and it's just really exciting. So if you want to see how that all plays out, we're actually going to have a couple of those people in one mansion, Judy's, and then we're going to have the other set in another mansion, and we're going to use the Get Together Club to kind of bring everyone together. And then in the other mansion, my Sim will live there, and that's where his whole storyline will go down. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I will say I've actually had an actor Sim before. I had done the Little Mermaid challenge because I am a huge fan of The Little Mermaid, and I actually had created this challenge so that I could just come up with a way to learn how to play The Sims, not building, just gameplay. And this would introduce me to Create a Sim. This would introduce me to actually playing The Sims and not just building. And I fell in love with it. I had the best time, but I decided to do something very difficult for my very first gameplay challenge. And that was, I was going to have all of Ariel's older sisters and her parents. So it starts off with their parents, and it doesn't end until Ariel has grown up. She has gotten married to Prince Eric and had a child, Melody, and Melody has grown up into a mermaid. So, that's a lot of Sims, especially in one household. I actually had a mod so that I could have more Sims than typical household limit, and it was intense. And it was really fun. But the current legacy challenge that I'm working on, I created again, and I wrote it with my boyfriend, Cinnabon Andy, the architect. And basically each world, and just following the gameplay from whatever world's pack we're working on. So again, San Myshuno was City Living, and right now we are in Del Sol Valley and doing Get Famous. It's just a very interesting way to play the game, and I've since found out that other people have done similar challenges like this, which I couldn't find any. And I don't know, it's just been really fun. It's been kind of interesting to figure out how to layer them all together. And I have so many more packs now. So I'm gonna have to expand the rules for this legacy challenge because some of the packs aren't even in it yet. Especially the newer ones. Like we just got Love Struck, we got For Rent, we got Life and Death, and I'm going to have to introduce those. So my work is cut out for me. But anyway, we are nearing the end of this speed build. So why don't we jump into the game and I can give you a little bit of a tour. So here we are in Windenburg. I know that this might not fit in with the rest of the lots. But I've always wanted to build on this lot. And I thought, you know what? I want to make something that is a little more modern, a little more out there, and just kind of tucked away in Windenburg. So you basically walk up this path here. There is the mailbox, there is the front door, and there's like this little deck area. And then once you go inside, you come in the front door, there's the kitchen over here, and there's a little balcony out here. But we have a little dining area. We have our living room. And honestly, the Cozy Kitsch kit, it just pulls it all together. I think it just looks so nice in here. Then you can go through this little archway into this little hallway. You can get into the backyard or into the bathroom over here. And then you have the primary bedroom over here. I just think it looks really cute. I use a lot of yellows. I use a lot of oranges. I use a lot of greens. And I don't know, I'm just really happy with the way that this one came out. So if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. It is free. And hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss future videos. But I will catch you next week. Bye-bye.